Good people, what's up, what's good? It's your boy Caleb Smith, host of the 3 Milli Podcast. Today, man, I have the honor of interviewing my guy, Andre Butler. Dre, what are we going to be talking about today?
Hey guys, how we doing? My name is Andre Butler, work for Guinness. Met my boy Caleb Smith at Georgia State, shout out Panthers. Today we're going to talk to you guys about growth, development, and just this year.
Good people, what's up, what's good? Dre, man, thank you, bro, for coming through, my guy.
Hey, my pleasure, bro. Thank you for having me, bro. It's an honor, bro.
Thank you
for having me on the show today.
Thank you, man. Birthday, brother. Same birthday.
Yes,
a legend
sir.
was born
Yes,
on
sir.
this day. My guy, man. Dre.
The legend himself right here.
Thank you, bro, for real, man. Today's conversation is needed. It's a conversation that we have plenty of times off camera about growth, life after school, how to develop throughout life. So, Dre, we're going to get into this. We're going to talk about yourself, your journey, just advice on how we can grow and expand who we are as people. So, let's do this, man.
Let's do this. Can't wait.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dre, man, starting off, met you at Georgia State. But before we even talk about your time at State, your time in journalism, like the program, with everything with that, bro, you were from Jamaica, right?
Yes, sir. I am.
Bro, can you talk about that experience of coming to America from Jamaica, first generation, and doing life, like just going through life? Like you come to Jamaica, then you move from Miami to Atlanta?
Yeah,
like,
so
how was that experience, bro?
Yeah, man. So I was born in Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica. Shout out
Kingston, bro.
Shout out Kingston. Born in Kingston, Jamaica. Moved to Miami when I was about 3 years old. Lived in Miami till I was about 9, so about third grade. I moved to Marietta, Georgia, and been a Georgia guy ever since. Love it here. So that's kind of a little bit about, my early bringing up to how I got to Atlanta.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. It's crazy. It was a crazy transition, but I love it. I love it here.
I love that.
This is home. I got multiple homes, so it's a nice thing.
Yes, sir. Man, shout out to June as well, camera woman, killing the thing, setting everything up for us. Yes, most definitely. You and June, y'all were having a great conversation on being immigrants, coming to America, and hearing y'all talk gave me such an interesting perspective on life, because you showed me that people come from different backgrounds, experiences. What was that adjustment period like, from not only changing countries, but going from Miami to Atlanta, where you're changing cities? So how was that like growing up, where I know in Miami you said plenty of times it was very diverse, but then you come to North Georgia where it's not as diverse. So how did that shape you? And then two, being in those moments where you would be the only person of color or the only black person in the room. So how did you adjust to that? And two, what was that like?
Yeah, man. So, I came from Jamaica when I was 3. So, to be honest, my time in Jamaica was short, early start of life. I go back every other year or so. So I do go back to Jamaica, but beginning parts, I didn't have that much memory of that early part. So really Miami was the first major childhood memory I had. But it was, it was a melting pot of so many different type of people down there at 305. You got people from Caribbean, Hispanic influence, Latin America, Central America, Africa, all over the place. You got India and China. You got so many different influences down in the Caribbean. So those a lot of those cultures come to Miami. So to make it, to live life here in America. So I had such a diverse group of people that I was around for a good period of time, and then I moved to Marietta, Georgia, when I was 9, and it was a complete change.
I know, you was probably like, bro, this place is ugly compared to Miami. Completely different.
It was weird, man. I wasn't used to hills. I wasn't used to trees, mountains, trees, all those type of things. So it was definitely a different transition. I was used to lights, concrete jungle,
it's
palm
colorful
trees.
in Miami. Yeah.
It's colorful, yeah. So it was a big change, the landscape, the people, everything is, is pretty different.
Yeah.
So it was a different type of change. I remember going, in third grade, just being like, wow, this is different.
Yeah.
It was me and maybe one other person of color in the class.
Wow.
So it was different. It was a little weird. But what are you gonna do? You just gotta make do with what you got. So I went to school and I did my thing and I made my friends and I had a great time. So it helped shape experiences in my life. So I've got a different kind of blend for a lot of different type of people.
I'm with it, bro. UGA, man. Let's talk about that, bro. Repping it, the cap. You were there, bro, at UGA. Transferred to Georgia State. Go Dogs, for real. What was that experience like where you go to school, it's a big school. How was UGA? How was that experience for you?
Oh, it was cool, man. I had a great time. I, bartended down there, did a whole bunch of different things. So it was a cool experience. Not a great mixture of people of color, but you went there. You go there for school and things like that. So it was a crazy transition, man. It was a crazy thing, but I had an incredible time down there. It was a great time. I made a lot of great friends, lifelong friends. So it was a blessing too. It's moments. It was different transitions in life.
Yeah.
And then we're at State. State was a cool transition for me too because I got to see a whole different type of experience. I was in the city. It was way more diverse, and that was cool to be back into something like that.
Yeah,
having just so many different types of people around, a lot more people of color. Just a great blend, a mixture of people from all different religions, cultures, ways of life. So it was cool, and it was in a city atmosphere. And I feel like the biggest thing is I was more mature, so I was able to take on the city in a different way than I was before when I was a little bit younger. So for me, that gave me, a different type of feel for the environment I was in, and it was a beautiful thing.
I'm with that. And Dre, you said something that was very important, of being in spaces where sometimes you would be the only person of color in the room. And I know throughout high school, you probably experienced that same thing as well. As a black man, person of color, like, how did you adjust and stay true to yourself? Because I know that can be very intimidating, being in a room and it's just you, or if you see one black person or a person of color, you'd be like, yo, like, what's up? I'm Dre, I'm this person, and y'all can connect instantly off of being the one few people in the room. So how did you adjust and also stay true to yourself as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. It is a little weird. Walking into spaces that, might be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And where you don't have a lot of people that look like you in the area. But I think having me growing up, and the fact that I grew up in spaces of, culture and diversity, and grew up in spaces of not as much, I just learned how to balance. And learn how to move and groove, and learn how to meet the right people. And that was the key thing, is just having good people, good friends around you, people that are going to uplift you. And, not look at you just because of the color of your skin. So it was a tough transition, but it was a good blend after a little while. I knew how to eventually work my way through any type of room I was going to go into. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was, to answer that question. That was kind of how that worked out for me.
I love that, bro. You transfer to Georgia State. You come to Atlanta, man. New city, new environment. What inspires you to choose Georgia State? Because I know you could have chosen any school, so you come to State. And then two, as well, like, how did you find who you were and how to fit in? Because I know at State, a lot of people, they can get intimidated. And it's like, it's all these kids. I'm downtown. All my classes, one class is in Adderhole, the other's in Langdale. And it's mixed in with these 20-story buildings, and I can't find where I'm even going to class. So that can be very intimidating. So how did you stay confident when you transferred down to Georgia State?
Yeah, so when I got to State, what was cool was my sister went to State. So
shout out to her too,
shout
bro.
Out my sister.
Yeah.
She went to State. My cousin, shout out to Sydney, she went to State. So I had some family members that were there, and so I think the biggest part too is I was a little bit older, so I was more mature, and I was ready to take on being in the city. Before I wasn't there yet. It was a little bit when I was a little bit younger, about 18. I wasn't ready to just jump into the city like that. The fact that I was older, I was ready to be in that scene. I was ready to be in the city, making those type of moves. So for me, it was great. I got to go down there, and it was different for sure, but it was awesome. I mean, once I got down to State, it was like a blend of so many different types of people. Just that many different types of people being in the city was awesome. Got to meet so many different types of religions, cultures, backgrounds. And it was nice to be in every class was a blend of a lot of different type of people. So you got to learn a lot and grow as a person. Yeah. So for me, it was an amazing experience.
I'm with that, bro. Speaking on classes, man, earlier before the show even started, it felt like we had like our own podcast with me, you, and June. So, man, you said something that kind of hit me, man, a lot when you were talking about you taking classes and religious courses and you learning about your family history through taking certain classes at state. Can you explain that story for everybody who's tuning in?
Yeah, of course. So I was taking a religions class.
Yeah.
And, the professor had us, study a religion that we didn't really necessarily know much about.
Right.
Typically, they would say an Eastern or Western religion. So I decided to learn about Sikhism because I thought it was interesting. It looked cool. I had never heard about it before. Finding all these crazy facts, it's the 5th largest religion in the world.
Yeah, that was crazy when you told me that.
That's crazy. Cool. So,
yeah.
And it had a lot of similarities to Christianity and other religions as well. So it was just cool to learn the history of it. And I've always enjoyed learning about, religions and people and culture. So for me, it was a cool thing. And, being from Jamaica, in Jamaica, we say out of many, one people. So we have a blend of a lot of different types of people down in Jamaica from all over the place. Chinese, Indian, all over the world. Like, you can name it. There's somebody from Jamaica.
That's dope.
Hispanic influence. So, we're just a blend of people. White people, it doesn't matter. Like, if you're Jamaican, you're Jamaican.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. So it was cool to find out, like, my mom, her maiden name is Singh. And my grandfather was an Indian Jamaican, and his parents were from India, and they were Singh. And I found out that Singh was a lot of people that were Singh were Sikh, the Sikh religion. It was cool to find out that trace of history in my own background, and just learn about it. And that for me was an ultimate cool experience to just have that knowledge now and to know my family was a part of something that I didn't even know about.
Yeah, bro, I love that story, man. And at state, we met there. You and Sid unknowingly already met each other. It was crazy, man. Yeah, bro. It was crazy because I remember we were taking our final for sports journalism. Yeah. And you saw Sid, and he was like, hold on, I know her, bro. For everybody who's tuning in, can you tell them that crazy story about already knowing Sid and Sid being a pain in your butt?
Oh, man. Sid's going to hate me. No. No, it was a crazy story. Me and Sid had a class together before, the semester before, and I didn't know, this is before I even knew you.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you were her boyfriend. And she used to always talk in class about my boyfriend and this, that, and third. And we used to just be like, oh, here goes this
dude. I ain't trying to hear about this dude no more.
Yeah. And then she thought I was annoying and this, that, and third. So it was just funny. And then obviously meeting you, and we were working on our class or one of our projects, I believe, or something for sports journalism. Yeah. And we were all meeting outside y'all's or inside your apartment.
Yeah, at 112.
And you said, my girl's coming through and gonna come kick it with us.
Yeah,
and I remember
she brought
seeing
food.
her,
I think it was like Subway or something.
I just remember seeing her walking up, and I was like, "Oh my god,
can't be her, bro.
This is the girl."
Can't be her.
Well, I'm sure she had the same reaction when she saw me. So.
Oh man!
But it's been love ever since. So shout out Sid.
My God! Shout out to Sid. We love you right here in the background, man.
Yeah, it's all love. It's all love.
Yes, sir. Dre, man, I love how when we always link up, man, we always have a great time. Everybody's having fun, enjoying ourselves, and. With people like Sheely, shout out to David Sheely, our man.
Hey, shout out Sheely.
Greg, Doug, Dimitri. Whole crew, Dimitri, bro.
Everybody.
Dre, man, the importance of having a solid crew is so important, man. I remember in class, us just sitting together and just bouncing off ideas or, saying, hey, you should fix this on your article or fix that. Can you tell us and expound upon the importance of people who's in school right now or just, I would say, life after school on having a solid group of friends around you?
Yeah, man, I think once you really dive into, your major and what you're going to do or your graduate program or whatever it might be that you're working on, just finding a core group of people that, are going in the same direction as you are.
Right.
That have goals that are going to, that you inspire them, they inspire you. And you guys just drive and work together. And I think that's just a beautiful thing to have that, to find that camaraderie and friendship between people that are trying to accomplish similar feats. And that can only just make you stronger as a person and help you grow in your career that you're aspiring to do. So, I would say just get yourself around good people, great people, like minds, and they're on the same mission as you.
Most definitely. I love that. And in school, I know it can get crazy, it can get hectic, balancing class, social life, and outside of that, you gotta get the bag, going to work. Dre, how did you balance it, bro? Because I mean, being a bartender, it can be lit. So how did you balance doing that, going to school, and focusing on journalism as well as your dream?
Yeah, man, I think it was a tough balance, but when you have a goal and you're trying to achieve something, you're gonna do whatever you gotta do to make it happen. So, for me, it was just a matter of how am I gonna balance maybe taking a little more energy towards something else than I was putting towards something else. You know what I mean? You just have to come to this realization, like, what do I want? Where am I trying to get at? What am I trying to achieve with my time? Time is of the essence.
That's right.
You want to make sure you're using your time wisely. So if you're having to balance a lot of things, and anyone that's in college or working, 3 jobs or, any of these type of things can relate. Crazy. It's just knowing how to balance your time and knowing how to be efficient with your time and knowing when to spend time towards certain things and less time to certain other things. So it was tough, but I think I also came with maturity. Going back to the maturity thing earlier, once you get to that point where you're like, all the other things don't matter, and this is what matters now, and this is what I need to do, and this is what I need to achieve. You kind of take it from there, but I think maturity is a big step.
Most definitely.
And everyone has different maturity levels, ages too. So it can come, it can come early, it can come late, but
that's real.
I feel like once you achieve that, you can do great things.
I love that. Bro, during those times too, that is stressful. Trying to balance everything, trying to still be true to yourself. How did you manage stress in school? Because at Georgia State, it's a very crazy school. So how did you stay, I wouldn't say stress-free, but how did you learn how to manage being stressed sometimes?
Yeah, I just try to, stay grounded. I did activities that I think, would take breaks. Make sure I take breaks and, maybe play video games. Hang out, watch some Netflix. Get some Madden, some 2K in. Just do things that I enjoy doing that relieve stress. And then getting back to the grind. It's tough. Everyone's grinding. So you gotta just know when to kind of take a break sometimes, even through all the tough things that you're going through in life and all the struggles and like trying to balance everything. I think just to deal with the stress, you gotta do things that are specific to you. Relieve stress. Maybe it's just taking a hot shower. It could be anything. But, or just reading a book. Whatever it is that you kind of calms you down, take time to focus on those type of things. You know what I mean? And kind of help with the stress levels, because it's tough. When you're trying to balance, job, school, work, all these different type of things. Life itself, man. It's just tough. So, I think that's how you gotta manage that.
I'm with that. Bro, when you were at State, man, when was that moment for yourself where it clicked of, I can do this and I got this? Like, I'm making friends, I'm being active on campus. When was that aha moment for you?
That's a good question. I think probably after the first semester that I was on campus there. Because I wasn't living in the city, so for me, I was commuting, and so that also can be a challenging feat too.
We're gonna talk about that.
Especially when you're commuting back and forth, from where you're living at. So when you're down, on campus, you're there to do what you got to do, and then it's time to go. So that was a little tough, but I think once I started getting really into the groove with people that were in a lot of the same classes as me, making friends with them, working on different projects and things like that for the class. It made it so much easier to kind of like calm back down. All right, I got some friends now. Everything's kind of starting to move a little bit easier. I kind of know my way around a little bit better. I know how to move and groove in the city. And I think for me, it took a little bit of time. But once that happened, you was good. I was good to go. I was ready to go. Man. You know what I mean? So it was no problem.
Bro. You commuting, that is a challenge within itself. What was that experience like of having to catch that bus, and it's like a million people in the parking lot, you got to get on the bus, then you got to get to class on time? What was that like? Because I know people who's tuning in who've probably been to State know about it. So what was that like for you, bro?
I always had to make sure I left, because I'm coming from Marietta at the time, so I had to make sure I left accordingly.
And this traffic just
to get downtown. to park my car somewhere to find a parking spot.
Yeah.
You know, at Old Turner Field.
Yeah.
And then have to get on the bus, and there's like a million kids. Anyone that was riding the bus at State knows that.
Yeah.
A million kids waiting to get on the bus.
Yep.
To take you to campus. So it was an experience, man. But I loved it though.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was cool.
Hustle and bustle.
Yeah, man. It was just a hustle and bustle all the time, and you know, I just had to put my music in, my headphones in, and I just hopped on the bus and there was go. I was in focus mode. So
that's good stuff.
It was a cool experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hey, that's good stuff. And I know as well, man, in school it can be very tough when you're trying to do all the papers, the articles, and you got tests. And everybody's been there where we've had moments, I remember even in practicum, where it's like, bro, like, why are we doing this? How did you push yourself in moments where things got tough sometimes?
That's a great question, too. Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, there was a lot of tough times where it was hard. You're trying to balance a lot of things, like you just talked about, you know, and also balancing life.
Yeah.
But I think it was having that supporting cast, like we just spoke about, around, because they're going through a lot of the same things that you're going through.
Right.
So just having those people to lean on and, you know, balance off of and kind of help you, and you help them, you know, get better and be able to manage all this stress and like the projects and the papers and the writing, the articles and the deadlines and all these different things that we were trying to do. Yeah. I mean, filming and editing and all these different things, you know, especially having to work on practicum, that in itself was a lot too. But, you know, shout out to you guys, man, for real. Shout out to the boys.
Yeah.
We got it done. You know, we did what we had to do, and we've been better from it. So,
you know.
Bro,
that's big facts. And then eventually, all of us graduated. Graduation, what did that feel like to walk across the stage? You know, all of your hard work, it paid off. How did that feel for you?
Oh man, it's great. It felt amazing. Like, you know, it couldn't even. That's a no-brainer. It was a great feeling. So, you know, just that feeling of accomplishment. You worked so hard for something. You know, you try to achieve a goal that you've had. So it was an amazing feeling. I got to do it with my guys. Shout out to the boys.
Fun day, bro.
We had a great day.
Yeah.
You know, we got to do it together. So that's what really made the experience for me, is accomplishing. You get to accomplish with the people that, you know, are your boys that are right next to you. So that was awesome.
Yeah, I love that, man. After walking across the stage, life then gets real. Get the emails, I think, from student loans or something like that, and immediately, you know, everybody starts thinking, I got to get a job after school, or I have to apply to all these jobs. What was that time period like for you, Dre, to adjusting to life after school? What was that like? Yeah,
for me, it was cool. I, you know, kind of just took a little break once I got done, and was just kind of doing my thing for a little bit. But then I got back on the grind, and you know, had to realize, you know, it's time to get going. Got to get this stuff lined up. So working towards, you know, finding jobs, networking, connecting, you know, changing resumes, doing all these different things.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
To try to get you to where you want to be. And for me, I just wanted to make sure that I took my time to get the job that I really wanted. I know a lot of times people just get a job in whatever they get a job in, which is completely fine. But, you know, I felt like, you know, I worked so hard at this point, and I wanted to I wanted to be where I wanted to be. Yeah. And, or at least closer to that. Yeah. So I wanted to find something that was going to be a great job for me, something that I was passionate about, that I enjoyed doing, and just, you know, loved and put my all into. So I didn't want to just jump into anything. I just took my time, and I was like, I'm just going to keep applying to stuff. And it can be difficult. Finding jobs is hard.
It's a job to find a job.
Yeah, it's a job to find a job.
So,
you know, that in itself is difficult. And then going through interviews and all these different things and it not working out and one after the other. And it's great practice. And it's also just helps to get you better at interviewing. But it sucks when you don't get it.
Right, yeah.
You know, especially when you felt like you crushed an interview.
Most definitely.
You just got to keep going.
Yeah.
You know? That's the biggest thing, is you got to keep going. We're just learning. We're just learning as you go. You know, you take one day at a time, and I think every day is another day to get better.
Dre, man, when you hit up myself, Sheely, all the guys in the group chat, if you know, you know, shout out to y'all, man, about you getting the job at Guinness. That was amazing, man, hearing about that. And two, new whip. Shout out to my boy on that, man. Dre, what was going through your mind during that process of applying for a job at Guinness? How did you even know that you wanted to apply there? and two, securing that job. What was that time period like, going through all those different emotions at one time and during COVID on top of that?
Yeah, so shout out to my boy John. He was the one who actually set me up for the job to begin with back in January of this year. And went through the interview process, had 3 interviews. And my last interview was the week before COVID initially hit. So it was crazy because, here I am thinking like, man, I really hope I get this job.
Right.
And then 3 days later, the whole world kind of shuts down. So that sucked. It was tough, but I was very persistent and diligent about, still trying to get the job, applying for other jobs, just keeping my head up in a time where it was super uncertain.
Yeah.
As it still is, the times that we're in right now with COVID being, a major factor, but you just got to be persistent in all your efforts. And so for me, I just, stayed in touch and trying to make sure, the company knew I wanted to work for them. And, eventually, here we are 6 months later, I got that phone call and I landed the job. So it was a blessing, man. It was so awesome for that to happen in a year where every day can be something different. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So, just giving thanks for all the things that have happened, so far in a year of just craziness.
I love that. 6 months. That's a minute. During COVID too, how was your mental health? And for people right now, COVID, apparently, as we already know, still going on, people who's being impacted by it. How did you maintain being in a healthy mental space during the time of applying for a job? And it's COVID too. So how did you stay right mentally?
Yeah, just being grounded, being around friends and family, being around the people that are going to keep pushing me, and to do my best and to keep going. And there's so much things that are going on in our lives right now. And, all the stresses and things that we're dealing with, you got to find that type of balance to where you can kind of ease up and be able to kind of, as far as mentally goes, and do things that you enjoy doing. Obviously in this year in COVID, I feel like a lot of people picked up new hobbies and learned new things about themselves. Everyone is growing. Yeah. We've been growing. Yeah. And this has been an exponential year for growth. I started doing things I wasn't really doing before. I started like hiking trails with some of my friends and things like that, and started running those trails and doing these different types of things, activities, and just finding different hobbies and interests that I didn't necessarily knew I liked, and then just taking that and trying to help with the mental, kind of clear your head, help to clear your head a little bit, and help to kind of keep you going with, especially dealing with all that.
My God, bro, Guinness. That is amazing. You working for Guinness, bro. The care package that you dropped off when you came over a few weeks ago, it was dope, man. And one thing that I love about you, Dre, is that you are a master of many things. You know about a lot. Renaissance man, which is very dope because you can feel and fit in any type of setting. At Guinness, can you break down what you do at Guinness? And then after that, we can start talking about all the cool things that you told me about with the bottles, how it's made, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so it's been great. Basically, what I do is I've been in sales for them. So I go to different accounts and try to push in new products. Yeah. Whether it be convenience stores, gas stations, to your Publix, Walmarts. I go and bring my influence to help sell these products and to these accounts, and just know the knowledge of the product, and also help do quality in these products and make sure that Guinness is serving right. We do these things where we make sure we go to bars and restaurants and check on their Guinness, and it's a whole science between it. It's a beer that's been around for over 200 years. So it's a craft and it's a science to the Guinness world, which is awesome.
Speaking on the craft and the science, you were like a mad scientist when it comes to beer. You were telling me things that was absolutely blowing my mind about Guinness. What makes Guinness such a staple brand when it comes to beer?
The fact that they've been around for so long, that they have the notoriety.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
True.
How many businesses can you say that have been around for so many years? And so they've worked to perfect their craft, and everything for Guinness is made locally. It comes from local resources. The mountains that are a couple miles away It's where they get their water from.
Wow.
There's so much history that comes with Guinness. So it being a staple helps, keep that brand alive. And people know it wherever they go. You can see it in so many different countries other than just the United States. So that alone, it's an international brand. And that alone kind of helps to show that, Guinness is what it is.
yeah, bro. Most definitely, because I remember, man, when you came over, we chopped it up, dropped the package off, and as you already know, I don't even like beer. But trying it had like some flavor to it. And I was like, okay, Dre, you might know what you're talking about here. And you were breaking down everything about it. And I might be wrong. You told me about like a nitrogen ball or something like that. Hey, can you break that down?
Yeah, so
that was crazy.
The Guinness draft cans, they have a nitrogen ball in them. So Guinness is made on a different system than most beers. It's 75% nitrogen, 25% carbon, CO2. So that, the nitrogen ball, once the Guinness is open, is released and helps give that settling surge when you drink it. So it's all plays back into the science and the craft of, a great beer. But it was an invention that was made, and it became such a staple for Guinness in the draft. So it was amazing to see it work out that way it did.
Yeah, bro. And another thing that I find so interesting is that you worked as a bartender, and that kind of, I know, affects and trickles down into now you working for Guinness. What type of things did you learn from being a bartender were you able to translate to now working for Guinness?
Yeah, definitely communication factor, dealing with people, having to talk to different types of people, and sell yourself, sell the products. When you're a bartender, you're selling drinks, to people, and you're trying to entertain them, and you're doing all these different things, and so you're doing the same. That correlates in the same way when you're on a different side, dealing with the products. So you got to be able to be personable, be able to be easy to talk to. So that kind of helped transition, going from that to Guinness.
Yeah,
for me.
Nice. When you first got there, how did it feel? Like, were you nervous? How was that feeling of your first week? Like, yo, I'm really working for Guinness. What was that like when you first started?
Yeah, man, that first week was cool. It was nerve-wracking, just like any start of any new job.
Yeah, it's something new.
It's something new. It's something new. It's something different. Something unfamiliar. So it was very unique experience. But luckily, I had great support from my coworkers. My friend also works for the company. Like I said, he was the one who put me in position to get the job. So shout out to him. Shout out to John. But he, having some other guys there to help kind of, show me the way and kind of help guide me into this new role. It was a blessing. To be able to have those people in this market, to be able to do that, was major, and just to help grow each other's success. So, a great team as well. So for me, it's been an amazing experience so far.
Nice. Having a great team. That's super important, because without a team, you can't do anything. You talking about your boy John, he helped put you on. What's the importance of us networking and knowing who we should network with? Because that person could potentially help you out.
Yeah, I mean, networking, you can go into so many factors. I feel like you can network at any given point. You hear about people, stories about people landing jobs where they just happened to run into someone, and then they got to talking, and then they exchanged numbers, and then there's a connection. And so you're constantly always networking, on the go. So it's just knowing about how to network and knowing who to talk to and who to put you in those right positions of where you want to get to. So I think that's a major thing. Just having, multiple different types of lines of people that are doing different things. So you have different avenues to choose from. Like, hey, I know this person that does this, or this person that does that. And, just networking yourself to brand your, who you are, especially when it comes to looking for jobs.
That's nice, bro. That's nice. And after networking, then you get the job. But before even walking in there is the interviewing process. How did you make sure that you killed the interview process? Because I remember you told me it was like multiple steps. So for people who's interested in getting a job, even with Guinness or wherever, how should you conduct yourself during interviews?
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, with interviews, you're gonna have your ups and downs. Unless you're like lucky, you can get your first your first interview, your first job right away. But a lot of times it doesn't work that way. And, but it's great. You get great practice, from interviewing at multiple companies. And also it can be tough. I mean, I went through a ton of interviews before I landed my job. So, but it also helps. You have to just kind of keep your head up, even when it gets, frustrating after you've done, 10, 15, 20 interviews, maybe, multiple amount of interviews, and you're just not landing that job.
Fatigued.
You get fatigued. It's tiresome. You're spending time and energy, and you're not seeing the result that you want. But you get great practice from it. You grow from it, and it just helps you elevate your skills when it comes to interviewing. You're going to ask so many different types of questions from so many different companies, so you're just only getting more preparation for yourself. But I would say not to stay discouraged, because you'll eventually get to where you want to be. But for the interview process is just it's its own beast.
So Dre, man, on the typical day-to-day, what do you go through? What do you do when it comes to working for Guinness? Because I know you told me you have to make a lot of stops. So what exactly is the life for Dre day-to-day at Guinness?
Yeah, so the side that I work on, I deal with convenience stores, gas stations, liquor stores, and I basically go to these different accounts and try to sell in our products, whether it be Guinness and Smirnoff. We also do Smirnoff as well. It's in the same conglomerate. But I'll go and deal with the owners and talk to them about bringing in new products and selling them on why they should bring in additional. Obviously Guinness being the brand it is and Smirnoff being the brand it is,
right?
They're major. So if you already carry some of the products, there might be a great chance that you'll carry even more of the products. So I deal with the reps and communicate with them, because they're the ones who service these accounts. So we try to work together to help push these sales and get these products in there. So it's a fun job, man. I enjoy it. I get to talk to different people. I get to go to different places. I see different things every day. So I'm a moving and grooving kind of guy. So it works out nicely that I get to do those things, and every day is a new adventure. So
man, I love that. Dre, there's a lot of people out here right now who have dream jobs, and right now that they're going through a period of what we've gone through of just waiting, and it's feeling like nothing's working. Like, I'm applying for all these jobs, I'm not hearing anything back, doing these interviews. For people who's feeling down right now throughout that adjustment period, what words of advice do you have for them?
I would say just keep pushing yourself, and as cliche as that sounds, is you're never gonna, if you don't keep trying, you're not gonna get anywhere. So you gotta just keep pushing yourself, find things to be motivated, whether it be inspirational speakers or books or anything like that, or someone that inspires you or motivates you. We all have periods where we're down and out, and it's just about how you get up and continue to go from go on from there. But I would just tell people to, just keep driving, keep working, keep grinding, keep pushing. It's always a light on the other side, and you're going to reach that. You're going to reach the finish line. You're going to reach that promised land, if you just keep grinding. I mean, anyone that's famous or any inspirational person, most of the time that they have a story where they fell down so many times.
They had to fail.
They gave up. Some people gave up a few times, but they finally kept pushing and got to where they wanted to be. And that's when you achieve, great success. But so I just think you just got to keep pushing. We're always continually trying to get better. That's my mentality, is trying to get better every day. Yeah. So, if you kind of just keep with that mentality, stick around good people, people that are going to motivate you. It's multiple factors of different things, but if you just try to keep your head up, man, and just keep going. Like I said, just keep going. It sounds cliche, but just keep going. Just keep grinding.
I love that.
Don't stop. Find whatever it is that motivates you.
Yeah.
What makes your blood boil, what gets your juices flowing, for what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you do those things, you'll be in a good position.
Speaking on that point, Dre, so when you wake up early in the morning sometimes, or if you might be feeling tired or just worn down from being so busy, what motivates Dre on a consistent basis to say in your mind, I gotta keep going? Like, I'm doing this for something. What drives you?
Success, family. I just want to do the best that I can and be the best that I can. So that, every day getting up, it's like, how am I going to get better today? What can I do to achieve those things? So for me, that's what I tell anyone. It's like, hey, what is it that makes you, when you get up in the morning, what do you think about? What are you grinding towards? What kind of moves are you trying to make? So for me, it was just, getting up and being like, I got to just get better every day. I want to be successful in my job.
I love that. Dre, I know too, man, you have parents from the islands, bro. Shout out to them. raised you, man, molded you. What was that like, having parents from the islands? And I know I hear stories about them pushing their kids to be great, and apparently it worked, bro. So what was that experience like of having parents from outside of America, them molding you, and what lessons did you learn from them?
Oh man, it's amazing. It's a different experience because you got parents that come from elsewhere as opposed to if your parents are from here in the States. And
it's like the same old.
Yeah, so I grew up eating different foods, different dialect, everything. So it was amazing. It's a blessing. I love my culture. I love where I'm from. I love everything about it: music, dancing, food, culture, like so many things that go into play. The people, everything. So for me, it was a great experience having my parents in that position to instill our culture in me and my sister, and that we don't ever forget our roots and where we come from. So for me, it was amazing.
Yeah, don't forget your roots. That's important. So how do you try to make sure that you don't forget where you came from some moments? And I know sometimes in school or even on the workforce, like some people have to switch up or some people have to try to code switch, right? So how do you kind of make sure that you stay true to who Dre is sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, just having a great family, keeping you balanced, keeping you centered. And you're around, if I'm around my family all the time. So, we're eating our food. We're doing everything that's related to our culture.
Yeah. So,
we have that, they instill all these great things in us. So, hard work, humility, respect, love for people, we're good vibes, that's where we come from. So, just having that around all the time has been such a blessing to be able to, do what I do.
Yeah.
Be who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Bro, you already know when COVID's over with, I've said this multiple times, we got to slide through, see the fam, celebrate, Caribbean party. It's only right. What are the parties like, the family atmosphere, the cookouts? How's that? Man. Graduation parties? What's that like?
Oh, man, it's incredible. So much food.
Yeah.
Food for days. Everybody's bringing rice and peas, oxtail, chicken, jerk chicken. We got everything. So
I love it.
Whenever it's a family party or the holidays, we do it big. The music's on point. Definitely got to be on point.
Yeah.
Lots of drinks, and it's just a lot of gathering, a lot of family time. It's beautiful. I love my family. I have a big family, so we always get together. We throw down.
Yeah.
We throw down. We throw down for the holidays, throw down for birthdays. And I think it's great because having that family there, having that love and support, and being able to enjoy like life with them and do things with them and celebrate holidays, and especially when all our lives are so busy year round and we're constantly doing different things, and you might not get to see each other as often, but when you do get those times to see each other, it's just a blessing, and we just try to enjoy it. So
yeah, staying on that point about life being too busy sometimes, how do you make sure when you're kind of moving too fast, how do you try to slow down some moments? How do you try to do it?
Man, that's a great question. Sometimes, to be honest, I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't know
just
how
going through the motions.
Sometimes you just go through the motions,
Yeah.
and you might just have to step back. It could be different a lot of times. 1 week it might be one thing, the next week it might be another. But whether it be like going to the gym or going running on trails or playing some basketball or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Reading a book, find something that reliever that kind of helps you decompress and kind of get back to your zone. But that's a great question.
I appreciate it, bro.
Sometimes you just don't know. You kind of just go with what it is that week, but it can be multiple things, man. But I always say just do whatever works best for you.
That's real. Dre, right now, man, you're in your bag. Again, like we said earlier, my boy is leveling up. New whip, dream job. What does it feel like to be living in your dreams? And I know that you aren't where you want to be because all of us have dreams and aspirations for even bigger things. But how does it feel right now to somewhat be at peace and knowing that I'm kind of checking off some of the things on my list right now?
Feels great.
Yeah.
You have so many goals, and sometimes you have shorter goals and you have longer goals, and the longer ones, it always sucks when it takes just so long to,
it's a process
to get there. It's a process.
Yeah.
But when you finally reach to that point, it's a beautiful thing. It's like all the waiting, all of the stress, all the headaches, all the long nights, finally are worth it. You know, when you get to that point. So it's a tough thing, but you know, I've always been goal driven and put my mind to something, and so once I do that, I just know, like, all right, I got this goal, but it might take me a little bit of time. But as long as I keep on going, I'm good. I'll be happy when I get to the end of the road.
Nothing's gonna stop you.
It's gonna work. Nothing's gonna stop you. No, don't let anyone ever stop you.
That's right.
You know, continue with what you're doing. Follow your dreams.
That's real.
You'll get there. You know, it's all about just putting the effort in. If you really want something, you'll achieve it.
That's right.
And you'll be put in positions to achieve it.
That's right, bro. One thing that I love about you as well, Dre, I mean, all of us love a lot about you, but one other cool thing is you're so multifaceted. And I've seen moments where I'll be scrolling on Instagram and I see your story of, I'm like, bro, this man Dre is like DJing right now, bro. And Dre, that's so cool. So what inspired that love and that passion for music? Because seeing somebody who knows how to curate playlists all the time, like when you come over, or DJing, what initiated that love for music for you?
Growing up in a music family, growing up in a Caribbean household, we love music. My dad has a crazy collection of music. We've had music in my house, in my ears for forever. As long as I can remember, there's been music playing. But we all have just a deep love for music. It goes back to culture. It goes back to all those type of things. So that's kind of where, my love for music originated. But, also learning through family. My cousin, Nick, DJs, and he kills it. I mean, he's incredible. So, you learn from family members, you learn from just, here and there parties, whatever, whenever you can. So I always think it's cool to have many different aspirations. You don't have to be great at everything, but you can always love to do something. And if you want to work towards that. You know what I mean? I've always loved music. So like I always mess around with little DJ equipment here and there whenever I got a chance to, or mess around with the computer and kind of figure things out. But you just find those little hobbies and little passions that you love, and you kind of just run with it. And then eventually, if you get good enough at it, it becomes something even greater than that. But that's kind of how I felt, that love for music kind of curated that for me.
I'm with it, man. Dre, you have a very diverse group of friends. Seeing you DJing, it'll be a group of white people one week, a group of black people the next, Caribbean. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you just get in the mix, and that's a really dope trait to have. What is the importance of us, our age group, millennials, being around different groups of people?
I mean, we live in a diverse world.
Yeah, we do.
So,
we do.
I feel like it's just essential to be able to kind of move and groove around all different types of people if you're able to, or just learn to be able to,
Right.
That's how we learn and grow from one another. We got to, walk each other's shoes. We got to live these experiences. We got to be able to kind of, see how the other person moves and grooves. And, being able to do that can help keep you, well-rounded, so that way you can fit into all different spaces, even uncomfortable ones, whether you're the only person of color in the room, or whatever it might be. You learning how to navigate and be in different spaces that are uncomfortable can only help you grow as a person. Especially if you ever step foot out of the country and travel elsewhere. You're gonna meet different languages, different cultures, different people.
That's right.
The world is a melting pot of all different types of people. So if you're able to and have the ability to learn and grow from one another and see different types of people, it can only make you grow as a person and help you get build your character and build who you are and make you stronger.
That's some good stuff. Dre, another key component is, man, you know how to talk to people. And that is a trait to have. And I already know for Guinness, that's needed. Talking to business owners, getting things moving and shaking. But one thing that impressed me today, made me proud, like, yo, that's my boy. Talking to June, somebody who you first met, having a great conversation. What advice do you probably want to give out, I should say, to people who may be naturally introverted, but who could step out of those comfort zones by talking to people, and not only talking to people, but having great conversations? So I would say, A, what's the importance of stepping out of your comfort zone from introvert to extrovert in certain moments? And then 2, as well, having great, meaningful conversations with people who you might meet for like the first time.
First thing I would say is be kind. Being kind goes a long way. Yeah. First impressions go a long way.
Yeah, they do.
If you meet somebody and their first impression of you is, wow, this person is, really mean or whatever it might
cocky,
be, cocky, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you're gonna already have or negative energy. You're already gonna be turned off and pushed away.
Yeah.
If you just approach anyone, you can approach anyone with kindness, and I get some people are not gonna reciprocate that, but I would just tell people just love on people no matter what, and that's a hard thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do. I'm not saying that, but just try. Don't be afraid. Try to step out of those comfort zones. And just be kind to another person. You never know what you might have in common with that person. You know what I mean?
That's facts.
And that's a testament to so many different things throughout life. We've seen people that didn't think they would ever be friends or didn't ever think they would work out, relationships, whatever it might be. But just give it a chance. Like, just be kind to someone. Kindness can go a long way, and that can help spark a relationship and a friendship or a conversation or whatever it might be. But showing that other person that initial respect and admiration, just be kind to them. Can help you, be a better person and make other people want to be around you. If you feed off good energy, then people are going to want to be around that. But if you come off with negative energy, then you're going to have a negative response. So, just bring good energy. Good energy, be kind. And I think that can go a long way with that. Just doing those couple things, pretty simple things.
Humility, that's what that takes. Because hearing you talk, that's very humble to say. How do you stay humble, Dre? Because right now you're experiencing a lot of success. And I know, too, with people in our age group right now, me and Sheely, we talked about this on the podcast as well, of when we start getting in the space in your late 20s, mid-20s, of, all right, now I'm starting to actually accomplish things. And you can start smelling yourself. So how do you make sure that, you stay a little bit level-headed, where I'm not getting too cocky? I'm staying confident, but I'm not getting cocky. And I'm still trying to stay hungry as well and humble. Yeah,
I would say being around those people that, keep you grounded. Like I said before, having that core group of friends or having your family. A family is essential, very important. Having them around to kind of help give you that balance and keep you level-headed. Make sure you're doing the right things, not straying away from, getting yourself into trouble or just having too much fun, whatever it might be. Just having that group to kind of hold you and keep you accountable. Accountability is everything. So if you can have a support system and keep you accountable, and then ultimately keep yourself accountable. When you start to see yourself, start to fall a couple times, start to wake yourself up and realize I got to pick myself back up. I can't keep falling down. You're trying to keep moving forward and gain better success than you were before. So if you want to achieve those things, you got to do those necessary things to go forward.
That's gems. Dre, man, you somebody who's swaggy, somebody who's smart. My God, swaggy and smart, bro. And so many times people may have this misconception that you have to be nerdy in order to be smart, or if somebody dresses a certain type of way, then like you can't be cool and smart. But at State, seeing people like yourself, Sheely, and so many others being cool and smart, how did you stay confident or just stay true to yourself and know, like, in school I can be smart and also I can be cool? Because I think for a lot of people who may be tuning in, our age group, when you're going to college or coming out of college, a lot of people try to be something that they're not, or if they are very smart, they'll try to hide it, or if they are cool, they try to think, all right, I can't be cool and smart. So how did you navigate that space of dressing how you dress, still being cool, but then going into the classroom in journalism, where most likely you have a white male professor and you still speak very intelligent, or you're very effective, like with your words, and you know how to communicate still. So was it somewhat of a struggle of trying to be cool and smart for you?
For me, appreciate that, first of all.
No problem, bro. Always love. You already know it.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I just stay true to myself. If you like, I feel like you like me for me, and if you don't, that's fine too.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stay true to myself. I'm not gonna change how I look or how I dress or how I act or, how I speak for anybody. I am what I am who I am, and either you take it or you don't. You know? So it goes back to just being kind, and I feel like for the most part, like I was kind. Being kind to anyone gets you a long way. People, whether you look like the Hulk or not.
It don't matter what you look like. Yeah, that's facts, man.
But yeah, it don't matter what you look like. I just judge people on the content of the character, not on their appearance.
Yeah.
So, and that's how you affect more people. That's how you open up.
Yeah.
You love on everyone. Try to be well rounded for everybody. So
That's
kind of how I work with that.
Yeah, bro. And for journalists of color, you can be Black journalists, just anybody when it comes to minorities being in the space of communications where, you're taught to be a certain way, dress a certain way. Do you think that it is a space for us right now in schools where there's a medium of journalism like podcasting like this, where we can be ourselves and express ourselves? Or do you feel like we need to create those spaces right now?
I feel like those spaces are being made, but I feel like it still needs an initial push. We need to be able to create more spaces for people to do what they want to do and experiment and enjoy learning their craft. Whether it be broadcasting, whether it be podcasting.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Whatever you fancy writing. Just being able to have those spaces to experiment, learn, grow from those things, and I think. It's all dependent upon where you're attending school and, if you have the funds to do those things. Yeah. You have the whereabouts, the classroom, the materials, and the gear to do those things. But if you are, at a place where you can do it, take advantage of it. Yeah. We're in an era of content creators. I mean,
that's facts.
Look at TikTok and look at, IG and all these things. Yeah. Their platforms are insane. Yeah. You can do anything. I mean, people are becoming rich off of an app.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Dancing videos.
That's true. That's true.
As long as you put your mind to it, they can achieve it. So it's in this day, I just say, it's something that's definitely needs it.
That's good stuff. I love that, man. So Dre, do you feel like school properly prepares us for life after college? Because I know after school, it's like a crash course on life of figuring out how to navigate in this space, how to find out who I am as a person, the job that I want, my dream. So do you feel like college prepared us for it, or do we kind of have to learn that on our own a little bit?
I would say it's about 50-50. Like you definitely learn things in college that are very essential to life after college. But I also think that your basic life experiences where you're going to learn most of your things. Many people get jobs in fields that they didn't even go to college for.
That's facts.
It's specified like, doctor or lawyer or something like that. Most people are just getting whatever they can get. And, they learn from whatever those companies or whatever they work teaches them and, how it molds them into what they want for them. So in that sense, school is obviously majorly important, don't get me wrong, but I think also it's a great balance of school and your actual, life experiences.
I love that. And bro, you made it through. Like you found it out. You got the job at Guinness, which was amazing. Just hearing about that. Dre, what's next for you? What else is inspiring you right now? Because the average person could get satisfied. You could say, I'm straight right now. So what is keeping you to continue to say, I got to keep going and I have to keep stepping out of my comfort zone right now?
Yeah, my goals, continued goals. Like I have so many more things I want to achieve. Right now, that's one keeping me going through this year is I can't wait to travel again.
That's a big one. Travel. That's a big one.
I can't wait to go to like a beach or go to the mountains or something. I'm just ready to go somewhere different. But I can't wait to travel. So that's got me really excited for, 2021 coming up. Yeah. Being able to kind of hopefully, God willing, be able to, travel and move and groove. But just continue to do well in my job. Continue to just improve every day. I'll obviously buy a home. Buy my first home. So I got so many different goals, small ones and big ones. And so for me, that's what's kind of really keeping me going and getting excited for that next step. I mean, this year in itself has been a whirlwind, but
it's been a challenge.
I'm super thankful that I'm still here. I've made it through, and we're gonna get out of this. This is not gonna be a forever thing. Even though, if we talked 7 months ago, we were saying
it seemed like it.
Saying something different. Like this is gonna be awful. We're about to be in this for forever. That time kind of went by fast. The summer kind of flew by. It was slow, but it was fast at the same time. And I think that alone, now that we're kind of pushed past that, we're still in the thick of it, but we're pushed past the most horrendous part, I feel like, which was the beginning when this all went down.
Not knowing what it was, anything.
Exactly. So, we're going to be seeing greater things ahead. So, I'm ready to just, continue to kick off the end of this year. We're here in December, so We're almost there. Just a couple weeks away. But I'm ready for a new year, man. New challenges, new things. So a lot of those things are what keeps me going. I'm ready for the next step.
Good, man. Dre, right now at Guinness, what do you love the most about working at Guinness right now? What's the best part of it?
Man, that's a great question. I love so much of it. From just the being able to do what I do every day to just the brand itself. You know, a lot of Caribbean people drink Guinness, so we drink a lot of Guinness in Jamaica. So I was already around Guinness before. So
he was born to do this.
So it was already something that I've already been used to. So, but I love all the aspects of it. It's many different aspects of it. So it's been great. And for me, I'm just continually learning every day, and just helping me love it even more.
That's good, man. Dre, for anybody who's tuning in right now and if they're seeing this story, hopefully, and being inspired by it, what words of advice do you have for people who is, I would probably say, somewhat reluctant to chase their dreams right now, thinking that it's a little hard right now, like it may be impossible, and they may be throwing in the towel right now in this moment.
Hey,
what can you say to them right now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've all had a low point. We've all had that point where we're ready to throw the towel in and just give up. You know? But going back to what I said earlier, just keep going and find those things that help push you. And I know a lot of people say, well, what about the people? What if you don't have anything to push you? Find something. Learn. Don't give up. Don't just give up. You know what I mean? We've all given up, but even if you give up for a little bit, get back on the highway.
That's right.
Keep it going. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just try to find things that make you happy. Happiness is key. Happiness is key to everything. So find things that make you happy. And if you say, well, I don't have things that make me happy, then, you need to learn and work on them. You know what I mean? But find things that make you happy. Be around great people. To continue to kind of just push yourself out of that. And things are going to get better. They always do. And that's what I believe. Things will always get better. And so if you're in a down spot right now, just keep grinding. Keep pushing yourself. Play that song that you love that makes you smile.
Yeah.
Go do something spontaneous that you've never done before. Play that sport that you love. Whatever it is, just try to do it. If you want to, be that next great DJ, do it. Don't be discouraged. Just find the happiness in whatever you love and use that to help propel you to continue to succeed and try to work to success. You know what I mean? Wow. So that's what I would tell somebody.
Dre, man, again, I cannot tell you thank you enough. Like, you've killed this interview. You gave us the game that we needed,
thank you for having me.
Man, anytime, awesome, bro. Thank you, man.
Glad to be here and chop it up with you.
Man, Dre, it's an honor. You already know this, bro. Like, we was talking about this for months almost, man. So having you come through, bro, it's been a blessing. And you already know I got to ask you one last thing, man, before we bounce. Where do you see yourself within the next 5 to 10 years, Dre?
Man, my man's been giving me some great questions.
Hey, it's what I'm here for, man. It's what we here for.
This guy's the real deal, everybody.
Thank you, man.
So, he's killing it. But, man, that's a great question. I want to see myself have been travel the world, hopefully. The next 5 to 10 years, I would love to at least be able to say I travel a lot of places. Travel the world, succeed in all my aspirations, being able to, buy a house, have a family, find the right one, wherever she is.
Yeah, treat my boy right, please.
Find the right one. But, I got a lot of different goals coming up. So I see myself, in a great space, surrounded by great family, friends. And I see success. You got to manifest it. You got to believe it. God's going to put you in great places if you work hard enough. So, I'm just gonna keep grinding, man. Keep dreaming and keep hoping, and don't ever stop. Keep going. Like I said, keep on going. It's growth we're talking about. So you're continually learning to grow, and things are gonna change, and you're gonna have some bumps in the road. But it's all about how you navigate it. And if you work hard enough, you'll achieve your success that you want. So,
man, free game.
I just see success for me. I see success for you. I see success for, shout out to June, Sid. For everyone who's watching, success. It's only better when we get better together. So we can only grow from here. So that's kind of where I want to be in the next 5 to 10 years, man.
My God.
Enjoying a cocktail in Bora Bora.
Relaxing for cheap, bro.
Yeah, for chilling, hanging out in the Philippines or somewhere. But no, we'll have just enjoying life, man. You got one life to live, so work hard, love yourself, love your family, be kind to people, and take care of your shit. Like, you know, whatever you gotta do that and just be great at it.
Man, Dre, again, thank you, bro. You gave us free game, everything. Like, this was priceless information, your experiences. Before we leave, where can everybody follow you and keep up with you? And two, for anybody who's interested in working for Guinness, what should they do?
Yeah, definitely go on and apply on the website, you know, and that's the best way. But you can reach me on IG. It's Andre__Butler.
You'll be entertained.
Or on Facebook, you know. Those are my two main forms of social media. I do have a Twitter, but I don't really get on my Twitter as much.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's a little lower end one.
Right. Perfect.
But man, thank you so much for having me.
Anytime.
It's been
you already know that.
Blast, a pleasure. I've been chopping up with you and great success, man.
Thank you, bro.
Many blessings for you, and only getting better from here. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Man, pleasure's all mine. Special shout out to June, to Sid, to Andre being with us, man, today. Thank y'all, and for everyone who's tuning in, hit that subscribe button, like this video, share this content, and follow us on Instagram at 3MilliPod. Check us out. We cannot thank you all enough. Shout out to my boy Dre. Free game today, baby.
You, my man.
Enjoyed it, man. Thank y'all so very much. Once again, my name is Caleb Smith, host of the 3 Milli Podcast. Keep tapping in, and your dreams that will come true. Much love. Peace.